So
Yeah.
where did you guys grow up? I know, Max, you grew up in the Crystal City area, right? But I'm not real sure where
Yeah,
Heather grew up.
down. She's a local over there.
I grew up most of my life in East Texas, out in Bullard, Texas.
Okay, I thought so.
Uh,
I wasn't sure though.
I spent a little time in Mineola, where you are, but mostly Bullard. And then I moved back home and raised our son in Bullard. So I've spent a good chunk of my life there, and I have the best memories. I love East Texas. I miss it.
Yeah, and you guys are
So
in Dallas now, right?
We are.
So not
we
too
get our
far.
mail here, as Max always says.
Yeah, you guys are busy for sure. My goodness, I've been looking at the tour; it never stops. Golly, and I mean, you guys have done hundreds of shows per year in the past. Are you guys still keeping up
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, we're still doing 120, 130 shows a year.
Golly,
Very thankful.
Not as busy as some and not as little as others. We're working about the amount that we want to. We're kind of, knock on wood, we're at the spot where we can say, I don't know, do we really want to do that? Or we can say, hey, we're going to go plow some new ground, and we're going to go to Kansas, and we're going to go to Missouri and see if we can shake the bushes up there and try that out. So
so
we've
what's
been
that
trying to
like?
grow
Like
the circle a little bit.
leaving Texas like that? That's going to be. I mean, I imagine at first that was probably hard, kind of paying your dues elsewhere, right? That's going to be tough.
It is. It is. We were humbled last year.
Good word.
For sure.
Humble is the right word.
But it's kind of nice sometimes going somewhere where you don't know anybody and they don't know you. It's a different experience. And so you're thankful for the 10 people that show up, or the,
Yeah, I mean,
and if it's more than that, you're extremely grateful, and you kind of take it for granted sometimes here in Texas, and it's really, I don't know. We love getting to see new country and meet new people. So I don't know.
And it's fun to start over, so to speak. You
Yeah.
know, we go up to Kansas and we're playing at Knuckleheads, which has 4 stages, from the 5,000 cap room to all the way down to, we're playing in the, what do they call it? The Gospel Lounge, which is this really groovy, funky 60 cap room. And it's just fun. It's like back to why we got into this in the first place.
Yeah,
and we can play the same set list.
I can tell stories that I used to tell
yeah,
years ago, and they're like, oh, fresh material.
yeah. Bring back the 30-year-old story. Yep.
That's right.
Or some of those jokes that didn't get the check mark, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
That's
well,
right.
I love that. So, growing up, who were some of your first musical influences that you can remember that really got you to want to do this as a living?
Heather?
Oh, you're talking to me or to him?
Both. Yeah,
both.
either or.
Wait, you start.
I mean, I had a bunch of older siblings, and they had pretty large record collections, and so I would filter through those, and I was really turned on. I mean, I heard everything from Haggard to Nelson to Johnny Cash to the Beatles to Johnny Horton to ELO to, a large swath of all that. And then I really got into like rock and pop when I was in, when I started being able to afford buying my own music. And so a lot of that stuff. But then the people who really influenced the whole singer-songwriter aspect, the Guy Clarks, the Steve Earles, the Robert Keens, the Lyle Lovetts, the people who were writing their own. Once I found out about songwriting and that they were, it just never occurred to me that somebody had to write these songs.
Mm-hmm.
That's when those are the people that really inspired like what I do now.
Good answer.
Yeah.
I think yours is going to be a little different than that, right, Heather?
Mine's a lot different. When I was really young, my parents, on the side, they didn't do it for a living, but I would come home and they would be recording themselves on their little 8-track or whatever it is, their reel to reel,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought my dad was Gordon Lightfoot. I thought my mom was Joan Baez. Like I really thought that's when I heard the records. I thought, they were kind of hippie folk singers, and I thought everybody's parents did that. When I was a kid, and so I think that's probably. And then they love music. I heard everything from, like I said, Gordon Lightfoot, but my mom loved the Beatles. James Taylor, Jim Croce,
Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon Garfunkel. My dad was kind of a Merle Haggard, Willie Nelson. So I got kind of a little bit of everything. So, and I still do.